history turns, and people find that it's true for them.
I mean, this brings us to that interesting tension that you sit in a sense, as both a believer and a historian of the scriptures, Tom Wright, because in a sense, you're saying Paul, the explanation Paul would have given is that something supernatural happened. This gospel changed people. Or are you? And are you allowed to, as a historian, to say?
It'll be interesting to see what happens when Tom Holland gets past Galileo and on into the 18th and 19th century, because this word supernatural has changed its meaning.
Okay.
The word supernatural in the Middle Ages, as far as I understand it, meant a superabundance of godness over and on top of, but not excluding what goes on. So it's what normally goes on plus some extra dimensions. But from the 18th century onwards, something very interesting happened culturally, and the ancient philosophy called Epicureanism really became the dominant philosophy of the West. And with Epicureanism, the gods and our world are totally separate. They're made of the same stuff. They're made of atoms, but they have nothing to do with us. So supernatural means something out there as opposed to something down here. And then Christians trying to make sense of the faith within a basically Epicurean world think of God, quote, intervening. So you either have natural events or supernatural events. And I resist that dichotomy. I think it's a product of 18th and 19th
this is, of course,
centuries.
if you want more on this, the Gifford lectures that you gave this year.
Thank you, yes.
Are the place to go. Fluently done.
Very nice, but unfortunately it's going to take a little while before they get published because I've got some work to do, but they are available online.
They're on
actually.
YouTube, yep.
Yeah,
you
they
can go
are.
and see them right away.
Yeah, YouTube. Oh, goodness. But the point is this, that we still in our culture, and I think I say this in one of the Giffords actually, the only real question that the great British public know theologically is, does God intervene in the world or doesn't he? Which is why a journalist faced with a new archbishop says, do you believe in the virgin birth and the resurrection? In other words, are you going to be one of those embarrassing fundamentalists who says you believe it all, or are you going to be one of those equally dodgy liberals who says you disbelieve it all? It's a horrible dilemma. And I want to say, wrong question. This is not, for me as a historian, the more I know about history, the more I think, all sorts of odd things happen in the world. And the idea that everything is just a closed continuum is a very particular philosophical thing. So I want to have it both ways, actually.